Hi folks, welcome to another rugby episode. So for this one, I'm going to be doing it's a lineup reaction for that game on Sunday between Scotland and Ireland for the Six Nations Championship. So both teams have made changes in their squads from the previous games they played, respectively. For Scotland, they've made changes in the locks and in their loose forwards. In the locks, they have because they're missing Grant Gilchrist, they have brought in Johnny Gray to start. I think it's gonna be a big loss for them because Gilchrist is such a top player. But I think they're not losing a lot because Johnny Gray is also a very experienced player. He's been playing for Scotland for the longest time. So yeah, that's the change in the locks. It's gonna be Johnny Gray pairing up with his brother, Richie Gray. On the loose forwards, Scotland have shifted Matt Ferguson from 8 to number 6 to make way for Jack Dempsey at number 8. So they are dropping Hamish Watson to the bench. I think this is the tactical change because they are trying to beef up their pack because the Irish pack is beefed up, So they're trying to beef up their pack, to try by all means to have that weight competition evened out at least, So I feel sorry for someone like Hamish Watson because I think he's a top player, but in some games you have to make tactics as a coach. You have to look at who you have, who can you bring to improve the pack. And by bringing in Jack Dempsey, they are trying to beef up the pack to have bigger players, to have an impact. But he's gonna come in the second half, to have an impact also in the game in the second half. But I think it's a tactical change to drop him here. So on the halfbacks, Finn Russell and Ben White continue their partnership, which has been working so well for Scotland. So it makes sense that Townsend continues with these guys. Trust them. They'll continue. On the bench, they have Ali Price to come in the second half and replace Ben White if anything happens to him. So it's a special game for Stuart Hogg because he's gonna get his 100th cap. So it's a big occasion for him. 100th caps are very, they're very prestigious. Only a few players reach 100 cap for their respective nations. So it's a congratulations to him. It's a big step. I hope he has a good game. Sometimes he likes making a lot of mistakes. Sometimes he can make some mistakes. I hope in this game he just flourishes. For the Irish, they have made changes in the front row. There's no change in the second row. They made changes in the looses. Yeah. So in the front row, Tate Furlong returns to his regular position at tight head. Which makes sense because it's their best tight head they have right now, Tate Furlong. At lock, Ian Henderson continues at lock because they are missing Tate Ban, who I think is a big loss for them because it gives them a lot of options, at lock and with the loose forwards. But also having Ian Henderson there start is not a bad thing. He's a good player also from Ulster. He's a top Ulster. Does he play for Ulster? Yeah, he plays for Ulster. He's a top player, Ian Henderson. So they're gonna miss Tate Ban, but with Ian Henderson, they're in good hands there. At the looses, Ireland have shifted, doesn't listen to me, of course. But as I said in the previous video that I prefer them to shift Doris to 8, and they've done it. Doris moves shifts from 6 to number 8, and Jack Conyan is dropped to the bench. I feel sorry for Jack Conyan because he's also a good player, but when you have someone like Kellen Doris in your squad, then you have to drop someone else then, and it has to be Jack Conyan because he plays at number 8. Conor Murray starts at halfback ahead of Gibson Park. Gibson Park starts from the bench. I think I understand what they're doing here. I think also considering the fact that it's gonna be wet on Sunday in Edinburgh, So it's gonna be the game. When I check the weather, they're gonna have to play a different type of play. It won't be necessarily mostly ball in hand. It's gonna be good kicking, you know, those tactical kicking. So you need someone who has an accurate board, and Conor Murray provides that for Scotland. So yeah, these are the lineups, guys. I hope it's gonna be a good game. I hope, as I said, I have high expectations for this game. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what's gonna happen. It should be interesting. It should be interesting with these changes also. Um, I'm mostly interested in seeing Jack Dempsey. I wanna see what he's gonna offer here. I wanna see what he's gonna offer. I've seen him in the URC. He's a good player. I wanna see what more he can offer for Scotland here. So yeah, thanks guys. This wraps up my my reaction. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your evening. Thanks.